What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It has been fucking forever since I've done a video. Hope you guys have been great. I hope you all had an awesome Christmas, New Year, whatever the hell else I missed. I hope everything's going just top of the world for you, man. Now, it has been a hell of a day. It has. Think about it. Okay, I woke up this morning and I woke up and I was watching the news. Toby Keith died last night. I didn't know he was sick until a few months ago, but he had stomach cancer, and God bless the old dude, he passed away last night. It's horrible. I love Toby Keith. And, you know, he was one of the reasons I used to drink that red Solo cup, right? But, you know, so God bless him. Hope everything's okay with his family. I know they're going to go through it, and I wish them nothing but the best, you know, because he was the best. He was awesome. But let's talk about a couple of things. Huge day in news, man. First, I saw Trump, that the DC appeals court said he does not have presidential immunity for his actions on January 6th. Awesome. I love it. And, you know, he's going to appeal that to the Supreme Court. And, you know, he's still got the other Supreme Court case that they're waiting on now. But he has until Tuesday to appeal the ruling that they did today. He's gonna appeal it, you know. His whole thing is, you know, push it back, you know, wait, see how far we can go with it. And if I was him, that's what I would do. But, you know, I was watching the news and there was a woman that is big. She's not in the Supreme Court, but she works hand in hand with them a lot. And she said that she wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the Supreme Court just pass it and say, you know, we're going to respect the lower appeals court's verdict, because it was a 3-person panel in DC that said he doesn't have immunity. And they said that they put in a 57-page report that was so freaking detailed that it was insane, and that it's kind of hard to go against it because it's so good. You know, so wait to see what happens out of that. You know, we'll see. But the big one today was Ethan Crumley. Is it Crumley? Whatever. The Michigan school shooter in 2021 killed 4 people. His parents was the ones that took off on the run that night, and they ended up, you know, getting arrested, all that later. But his mom has been on trial for manslaughter. They was charging her for 4 counts of manslaughter, 1 for each person that her son killed. And it's the first time in history that a parent has ever been charged, like with their son's or child's actions. And she was found guilty and faces up to 15 years per case. So 4 charges, so 60 years. But I think they said that they would run them concurrent, which if she gets 60, she's only going to do 15. So either way, I think that is fucking awesome. You know, a parent should be held responsible of their minor child's actions, especially when they live in your house. You know, here's where I'm going to ruffle some feathers. Here's where I'm going to get some pushback and bring it on. Push back. I love it all day long. Okay. A parent should be charged, or, you know, whatever, with their minor child's actions if that minor child does something while living in the parent's house, like this kid. But now this kid, he was all fucked up, man. He should have been in a mental ward a long time ago. And there was so many different signs, you know, of this kid was just losing it, you know, and that he needed help, and the parents did absolutely nothing. So I praise the courts for going through with it and doing what they did today, because that is huge. Like I said, it's the first time ever. And, you know, but like if you look at it, he had caught his mom when she evidently, she was having an affair with a firefighter, and she was big into her horses. She has a few horses that she just spent all her spare time with, and not her kids or her kid. And, you know, it's just bad parenting, you know. And so I'm glad that they finally held a parent to a jail sentence or to a charge, even if found not guilty, to where they know it can happen and it should happen. I don't argue what they did at all. Now, let's get back to the ruffling the feathers. Okay, I think that from today on, because you're going to see it a whole lot more. You're going to see a lot of parents getting charged when their minor child does, especially like a school shooting, something with a gun. You're going to see that a whole lot more now because they know it can be done. And, you know, I was talking to my wife and my daughter about it today. And, you know, I was like, good, you know, I think they should be. And here's my thing. Okay, let's say you have a child, we're going to say a son. Let's say you have a son and you have guns in your home and they're just laying around, you know, they're not locked up. They don't have the trigger guards on them. They're not in, you know, cases with keys and combinations and everything else that you can do. Then 100% yes, you should be charged. Okay? Criminally, you should be charged because that's negligence. That's all that is. That's just bad fucking parenting. But, you know, then my wife and daughter started debating it with me. They was like, okay, this phone's probably gonna drop. Okay. They was debating with me. They was like, but what if there's guards on it and they're locked up and they're in safes and everything else, and the child just happens to know the combination and gets in there and takes a gun without the parent knowing and goes and does it. Okay, I get that. So, if, for one, they shouldn't know your fucking code or have a key to the trigger guard or whatever. They shouldn't have access to any of that. And then you'll go back to people saying, well, all these guns are for self-defense. If someone breaks into my house, you know, I don't want to take 30 minutes to run to a gun cabinet and find the key, you know, find the key, unlock it, and then take a trigger guard and everything else. My family's dead by the time I get the gun unlocked. I get that. I do. Okay. But, you know, you look at it as, if you don't want to prosecute them, the parents, if you don't want to put a criminal charge on them for the negligence of gun safety and gun control and everything else, how about this? Okay, if your child shoots up a school with a gun that is in your name, that is registered to you, you know, if you don't want to press criminal charges on them because, you know, it happened, and I don't want to say it happened, that's fucking stupid, but, you know, if the kid had access somehow, okay, if you don't want to press criminal charges, how about you do this? Everybody's always talking about they want gun control, they want to take away some of these guns, and then they get another half of them saying, you ain't touching my Second Amendment. Okay, no one's talking about your Second Amendment. But, you know, if the kid does it, judge can say, okay, sir, we're not going to prosecute you, we're not going to put you in jail for your son doing this into the school. But what we are going to do is you are now banned from owning any guns, any firearms whatsoever. It can never be in your possession, be in your name, nothing like that. It's just because, you know, what's the difference? Okay, myself, I can't have a gun. I'm a convicted felon. I robbed a bank. I never shot nobody. I never showed a gun. I never have been arrested for a gun. I have never been arrested for a knife, a taser, anything. All my arrests are stupid ones, you know, but I don't have any violent charges, you know, actual violence, but they took away my Second Amendment. So I don't want to hear people saying, well, you can't take that parent's Second Amendment right from them. Why not? He didn't do nothing, right? The parent didn't do nothing. He didn't pull the trigger. He didn't point the gun. He didn't. But neither did I. So what's the difference? If you take away from him, if you take away from me, why can't you take away from someone else? Me, I can't vote. I can't hold a gun. I can't do any of that. And I'm okay with it. I don't give two flying fucks. But the thing is, start putting pressure on these parents. And I'm not saying the guns are going to disappear. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying shit will slow down when the parents start going to prison because their dumb fucking kid wants to shoot up a school. I guarantee you it stops. And now this kid in Michigan, he had so many signals. He was so messed up, man. I feel bad for the kid for his mental things going on, but I don't feel bad for him because he shut up a school. But there's too many signs for him that was already pointed out from the schools, from the parents, from everybody. You know, they found a piece of paper of a drawing that this kid had done that had gunshot or bullets and blood and dead bodies that he drew on a piece of paper. If that ain't a fucking sign, I don't know what is. You know, and then his mom was at her horse stable playing with her horses. And like I said, she loves horses. You know, he sent her a text, says, Mom, dishes are flying off the shelf. They're just falling. I'm not even touching them. They're just flying across the room, you know. And like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, she finally answered him. You know, that right there, if one of my kids said that to me, okay, cool. Well, let's get you a shirt and we'll go get you some mental help is what we're going to do. But, you know, they didn't. So I'm glad that they got prosecuted 100%. And I'm hoping that it does the same in the future. If, God forbid, I hate to even say it's going to happen, but stupid fucking people, it's going to happen. They're going to shoot up a school. And I hope that the parents are held responsible some way for the actions that their kids start doing. Because it's stupid. It's absolutely fucking stupid that a kid can do all this and the parent just sits back and says, my bad, I didn't mean that. I'll watch them better next time. My youngest kid, I'll make sure they don't have access. A little too fucking late now, ain't it? But, you know, what's your opinion? Should the parents be held responsible? If you don't press them criminally or criminal charges, do you say, okay, well, you're banned from holding guns and possessing guns and have them in your house? Anything else? How do you feel about that? You know, like I said, they took mine. I didn't shoot nobody. I didn't shoot up a school. They never even saw a gun in my hand. I've never been caught with a gun in my hand by a cop or in my house ever in all the times I've ever been arrested. So don't say that, you know, well, you're a criminal. You shouldn't have one. You're right. You're 100% right. But if the parent doesn't get criminally charged, there needs to be some kind of repercussion for that parent. So maybe people open their eyes a little bit more and say, you know what, we need some shit stopped. Because when all these parents start losing their rights to have guns or go to jail or whatever, maybe they'll be better fucking parents. You know, so let's just see how that goes. But anyway, hope you guys have a great friggin' rest of your day. And I hope you enjoy everything you do.